Our question today is, can I take my employees' temperatures before letting them work? This seems to be the question of our current season. The answer is yes. However, there are some guidelines and additional expectations that you need to be aware of as an employer, which we will discuss below. According to the EEOC, which is the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, employers can require temperature checks or even on-site COVID-19 testing as a condition of entering the workplace. The EEOC states that a COVID-19 test may be given if it is job-related and consistent with business necessity. The EEOC acknowledges that since a person with the virus will pose a direct threat to the health of others, an employer can choose to test employees before they enter the office or worksite. This new guidance is consistent with previous statements by the EEOC that noted that even though a temperature check would have been previously considered a medical exam and not permitted under the ADA, they are now allowed. Workers who refuse to undergo disease prevention measures, such as temperature checks or COVID-19 tests, may be barred from entering the workplace in order to protect other employees. Of course, employees cannot be singled out for special testing or other measures on the basis of race, sex, religion, or other protected classes. So, as an employer, does this mean that you should check the temperatures of all of your employees? Not necessarily. The CDC cautions employers that many individuals with COVID may not have a fever, and some people with a fever do not have COVID. So, as an employer, does this mean that if you test any employee, you must test all of your employees? No. The EEOC does state that you may select only certain employees for testing, but employers must have a reasonable objective basis for the selection. An example of an objective basis could be that an employer just tests employees who are exhibiting symptoms of COVID-19. Can you ask your employee about the symptoms? Yes. During a pandemic, employers may ask employees if they are experiencing symptoms of COVID-19. According to the CDC, these symptoms include fever, chills, shortness of breath, cough, and sore throat. However, do not ask about the symptoms of other conditions that could be covered under the ADA. What are some additional guidelines for temperature taking or COVID tests? You should pay any employees that you send home due to high temperatures. This will most likely then be covered by the emergency paid sick leave provided by the FFCRA. Keep all temperature readings and test results confidential. If your organization retains test results, you need to retain them as confidential medical records, according to the ADA's requirements. Ensure that social distancing takes place while employees wait for temperature checks. Keep employees 6 feet apart and wear the necessary protective equipment. Consider using digital thermometers, which are less invasive than oral thermometers. Pay your employees for the time spent waiting for temperature checks. Although there are no relevant court cases yet, we believe that this would fall under similar obligations as time spent donning and doffing uniforms that must be paid under the Fair Labor Standards Act. If you choose to test your employees, you should pay employees for time spent waiting to be tested, as well as time spent waiting for the results to comply with the FLSA. Employers should make sure that the tests are accurate and reliable. Take care in selecting a test that you're using, particularly in light of well-documented issues with test accuracy. Employers will need a process for dealing with positive tests and temperature readings. What happens if an employee tests positive for COVID-19? When will they be able to return to work? For example, is a subsequent negative test sufficient? This should all be in a standard operating procedure. We know this is a lot to think about, and at CYB, we've been working nonstop to bring you the most up-to-date information in COVID and any legal requirements surrounding that. Please let us know if you do have any additional questions regarding COVID-19 and your business or any other HR questions that we can help you with. We look forward to hearing from you.